What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Wednesday. What is it? November 16th, 2022. We got a great session today. It's about stupid stuff. Stupid stuff. Yeah, we're going to talk about stupid stuff. I want to give you a list of all the dumb things that new marketers do online, and it really kind of destroys their success. And I don't want that to happen to you. So I thought I would share today what not to do. I'm always trying to share what to do. Today's about what not to do. And I think that's really important. Hey, if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe. Hit that subscribe button down there, turn it from red to gray, and don't forget to ring the bell. Turn on all bell notifications so you're notified each and every time I go live or if I upload a video. Man, I'm excited about today. I was thinking about today and I'm writing all this stuff out. I'm like, this is some cool stuff. I know, because I've done some of these dumb things. It doesn't mean you're dumb. It's because you don't know. And that's what this channel is all about, is knowing. Okay, if I can give you things that work and you know what to do, then you're going to have really good success. And that's our whole goal here. Don't forget to, put your comments in that chat box. Talk to me. Let me know what's going on. If you have problems, you can put that in there. If you want to say hello, you can put that in there. If you just want to tell me where you're at, you can put that in the chat box. I'm going to be monitoring with, looky here, this nice little iPad here. See, I can kind of see what's going on over there with this iPad. And I can also answer your questions. So your questions and answers kind of pop up on the screen some, and then they go over here if you're on YouTube, but they also come over here. But sometimes I've got my notes up over here, so I don't see them. So be patient with me. And what I'll also do is if you have questions or, things you want to say, I can click on it and I can show it up on the screen so everybody can share with it too. So that's really important. I got my dog barking in the background now. I don't know if you can hear her. But she warns us of anything going wrong. She's going to warn us. So I don't know if you can hear her or not. Put in the chat box if you can hear her. I think that would be interesting. So let's get into this. First off, why is this important? It's important to learn what not to do, because then you can identify it when you're doing it. And a lot of these things, are things that you would do. And if you don't do it, you'll get better results. So in other words, you're wasting your time. So I don't want that to happen to you. So let's get into it. Okay. The first thing is you've got to realize that this is a real business. So the first mistake is not setting up the business properly. And what I mean by that is you're not doing things right. You're not doing things that you should be doing. And it's little things like getting a business license. So many people go, well, is an online business a real business? Absolutely. It's a real business. And if you don't treat it like a real business, you're not going to have that, your heart's not going to buy into it. You're going to go, oh, I'm just going to try this out. It's a real friggin' business, guys. It's like a restaurant or a hair salon or a convenience store or whatever you want to model it to. It's a real business. So you want to get set up right. You want to get a business license. You want to get your bank account going. You want to get all that stuff set up. And so many new digital marketers don't do that. They're like, well, I'll put in my social security number so I can get paid. And, let's see if it works. And if it does, then I'll do all that stuff. Well, see, you're taking that attitude if it works. Absolutely, it works. If it's not working for you, that means you're doing something wrong. It absolutely works. I've made a living at doing this for going on 13 years now. So for 13 years, I've made a living at this. So it does work. It's real. Okay. In the beginning, I didn't do well, and most people don't, but that's not the point. You got to get set up properly. I remember I went and set up one of my accounts and I called it, what did I call it? Goldtree Futures. Yes. And I still have that bank account. I transfer money to it, but I set up Goldtree Futures because I looked at it as gold growing on trees in the future. Okay. So I called it Goldtree Futures. I didn't have a name for my business or anything at the time, but I still set up that checking account. And whatever you name your business, your bank account doesn't have to match that. You can have a website that says something entirely different. You don't have to have a bank account with that same name on it. So keep that in mind when you're doing this. It could be, JBL Ventures or whatever you want it to be. So that's number one, not setting your business up properly. Now, if you have questions about any of this as we go along, put it in that chat box. Some of you, most of you, probably 98, 99% of you watch these videos after I'm live. And I get it. You can't be here at 10 o'clock in the morning because you got a job going on and you got things to do. And I totally understand that. Doesn't mean you can't ask questions. Doesn't mean you can't put comments in that comment section. I love getting them. I really do, guys. And matter of fact, I live for that. So please put something in there. Even if you would just want to say hello to me or a nice video or a crappy video or whatever you want to say to me, put it in that comment section if you would. Number two, trying to start with zero cash, You know, and I know that you can't start a business with no money. It doesn't even make sense. I'm not saying you got to invest thousands of dollars. I didn't. I invested $100. I invested. It was on a credit card. But the thing is, you've got to put some money into this, guys. You've got to put some money out. I think people are so scared to spend any money on their business. And it kind of destroys their chances of success because they're not doing the things they need to do. You're going to have to put money into this. And every now and then you're going to lose some money. And that's part of starting a business. So you've got to do that. You've got to invest money. That's number two. Don't try to start a business with no money. Don't do it. You cannot start a business with no money. And I know so many people are like, well, I want to make $1 million a year, but I don't want to put any money into it. You're going to have to put money into it. And anybody who's trying to sell you a course that says you can start with $0, they are lying to you. You know better. I mean, it sounds way too good to be true. What's that saying? If it sounds too good to be true, it probably is. Absolutely. Don't do that, guys. Don't fall into this trap of, this guy's going to sell me a program and I won't have to put any money into it and I'm going to make money. It doesn't even make sense. Come on, it doesn't make sense. You know better than that. Number three, starting a business so that they can have more time off. I see this time and time again. I say, well, why'd you start your e-commerce business? Well, I'm working too many hours at work. So, I wanted to get something where I don't have to work so many hours. I'll tell you my situation. When I first started out, I managed a whole bunch of new car dealerships. And I had to be at work at like 7:30, 8 in the morning. And I wouldn't get home till 7:30, 8, sometimes 9 o'clock at night. That's a lot of hours. And I did this 6 to 7 days a week. And you would say to yourself, well, JR, there's no way you can start a business, with those kind of hours. And I told myself the same thing. I said, there's no way I can start a business when I'm working these kind of hours. It's impossible. But the fact remained is I still wasn't like sleeping from the time, I got off work until the time I got to work the next day. I had some time. I didn't have a lot of time. I had maybe an hour or two in the evening when I watched TV. And one day, lo and behold, I said, why am I watching TV? Why am I investing an hour or two every single night watching TV? I don't need to do that. It's not getting me anywhere. Now, you'll tell yourself little things like, well, I have to have some downtime. I have to have some relaxation time. But the problem with saying that to yourself is you end up taking a whole lot more relaxation time than what you really realize. So what I did every night when I got home, got my kids in bed, I was a single dad, is I sat down and started to work until it was time to go to sleep. I didn't turn on the TV anymore. There was no more TV for me. None. It was working on my business. And it was only an hour or two at night initially, and then it turned into 3 or 4 hours. And you say, well, how'd you have the extra time? Here's what I did. I didn't sleep as much. Okay. So I was working from like 8 o'clock to like say 9 or 10 o'clock. And then all of a sudden that went to 11 o'clock. And all of a sudden that went to 12 o'clock. And I was putting 3, 4, 5. Sometimes I'd be up to 3 or 4 in the morning. And I had to be back at work at 7:30 or 8 in the morning. And a lot of people will look at that and go, well, you can't really do that because you'd be tired. Were you tired, JR? Did this make you tired? Are you some type of supernatural person where you don't get tired? No, absolutely. I was tired. I was very tired, but I was also tired of going to that job every day. So how bad do you want this? Are you willing to give up some of that free time, some of that downtime, some of the TV time, baseball, bar time, whatever it is that you're spending time on? Are you willing to give some of that up so that you can have a much better future? Because otherwise, you're going to stay on the same path for the rest of your life. That's what's going to happen to you. Absolutely nothing will change until you change how you allocate your time. Don't tell me you don't have enough time. Everybody has the same amount of time. Everybody in the world has the same amount of time daily. Okay. I'm not saying their life is going to be the same amount of time. But the point is, if you're not using that time wisely, it's your fault. It's nobody else's fault. It's not your kids or your spouse or your job or any of these other things. It's you. And as soon as you grasp onto that idea that, hey, I've got some time that I'm not working, or I'm not with the kids, or I'm not with my wife, or maybe you got to cut some of that out. I don't know. I don't know what the solution is. I was a single dad. I had to raise 2 kids. I had to spend time on that too. But bottom line is, I just knew that if I had any downtime at all, I was going to invest in my business. And that's what you have to decide to do. Don't start an online business so that you can say, I want to have more time off. That's what I want. I want more time off. Okay. Don't forget to use that chat section, guys. Put whatever comments in there. If you're watching this later on, use the comment section. Number 4, not learning how to do things. not learning how to do things. Okay. I think this is a big deal. And I was at a meeting, a mastermind, as a matter of fact, this past weekend, and I met a guy there, and I've met the same guy before over and over again. And I don't mean him individually, people just like him. And he had a business, and it was a solid business. And he had a physical mail list that he was mailing, I think like 300,000 people. And he didn't have emails. I think he maybe had a couple, 3,000 emails. And he wanted to move his business online. He says, I know I can make more money online. I want to move it online, and I want to start doing that. I said, well, then do it. He said, well, I haven't found a good partner yet. I want to find a partner that can do all that stuff, all that online stuff. And I'm just going to give them like 20% or 40% of whatever they generate. And I listened to him and I didn't say anything. And then later on in the day, he was telling somebody else the same story about how he couldn't find a partner, and how, we were at this mastermind, how the person who ran the mastermind didn't seem interested in his business. And I pulled him aside. I said, no, it's not that. It's not that they aren't interested in your business. It's not that everybody's not interested in your ideas. We all think it's a great business you have. The problem is you want somebody else to do all this work for you, and you give them a percentage. It's not going to work that way. It's not going to work that way. Somebody who has the talent to grow a business online is not going to take 20 or 40% of your business. They're not going to do that. They're going to work on their own business. And somebody that has agreed to do that, say, okay, yeah, I'll do that. I'll market your stuff for 20 or 40%, doesn't know what they're doing. Why would they do that? And I've had so many people come up to me, just time and time again, and say, hey, JR, I know you can market stuff. Why don't you market my business and I'll give you half the profits? I'm like, why would I market your business? Why would I market my business and get 100% of the profits? It doesn't even make sense. And you say, well, I've got this great idea and I know it's going to make money. I'm like, I got great ideas too, and I know they're going to make money. Why in the world would I split my time and effort to build your business? It makes no sense. Now, at one point, I was doing consulting, and I was charging $2,000 an hour. And I thought that was pretty high, but I still looked at it as, okay, I'm charging $2,000 an hour and I'm making some money, but I'm not building anything for myself. I'm building somebody else's business. So not wanting to learn this stuff and wanting somebody else to do that. And that's number 4, not learning how to do things. And the guy said to me, he said, well, I just don't want to learn this stuff. I don't want to do it. I want somebody else to do it. I want to pay somebody else to do it. You can't buy your way to success. It doesn't work that way. You can't spend money on other people to build your business. It doesn't work that way, guys. You have to know what to do. And so I finally told him, that, and he says, so what you're telling me is I have to learn this stuff. I said, exactly. He said, well, I'm not good at that stuff. That's not my forte. I said, I wasn't either, but that's what you have to do. You've got to learn how to do this stuff. If you don't learn how to think about this. If you don't learn how to do this stuff, how in the world are you going to hire somebody and manage their efforts if you don't even know what they're doing? You don't know what processes they're going through. They said, well, I've SEO'd your site. And you're like, great, that sounds good. Did you? I don't know. How long did it take you? What did I pay you? You've got to learn this stuff. Now, with all that aside, I'm not saying you can't hire people to do things. I'm saying you need to learn how to do them yourself first. And once you learn how to do them yourself first, you know how much time it takes. You know exactly what needs to be done. Then you could hire some people to do some tasks that may seem menial to you. But not learning how to do things is number 4. It's one of the worst things I see new digital marketers do. They're like, I'm just going to hire somebody to do this, and my webpage and my email list and my sales pages. And I'm just going to hire people to do all this stuff. Big mistake, and you will not succeed. Number 5, not getting the proper training. And people will say, well, I want to make $1 million a year and I don't know how to do anything. So I'm just going to I'm going to buy a course, or I'm going to buy a book, and that is going to solve everything. Now, first off, I'm all in. I believe in training. I believe you should pay for training. I sell training. If you look in the description of this video, you're going to find courses that I sell. Here's the problem I have with training. Not all training is good. Not all training is good. Not all training is going to get you to where you want to go. You say, well, JR, I spent $10,000 with this company. Well, that's great, but I cannot guarantee you it's going to get you where you want to go. 2 reasons, okay? The number 1 reason is whoever you bought this from doesn't do it every day. Okay, so I sell stuff on drop shipping, on e-commerce and all that. That's how I make my living. I do it every single day. So I'm selling you courses. I'm selling you information on stuff I already know how to do and that I've been successful at. Okay, so when you're going to buy a course or something like that, ask the person, what do you do every day? Do you just sell courses? Do you just sell training? Or do you actually do this stuff in practice every day? Now, a lot of them are going to tell you, well, I don't do it anymore. I don't have to because I have these courses. Well, that's the silliest thing in the world, because there's no way I can sell enough courses to make up for the amount of money I make off my, let's say, survival food company. There's no way I can do that because it makes a lot of money. Why would I give that up? Why would I stop doing that? It makes no sense. Now, I can sell a course on how I do this stuff every day. That makes sense. All right, so that's number one. Number one, you got to make sure you buy training from somebody who's doing what they're training you on. Okay, if they're just selling courses, back away, get away, go away. Don't even talk to these people. Number two, the other reason why maybe even buying good training from somebody who knows what they're doing won't work for you is because you don't put forth the effort. Okay, so I've had people buy one of my courses a few years ago. I had this person say, man, I feel so good. I know I'm going to make a lot of money because I bought one of your courses. I'm like, that doesn't mean you're going to make any money, because if you don't apply what's in the course, if you don't take it and do it, what's in the course, which the majority of the people don't, guys. You know, I talked to the guy that did P90X. He did their marketing, and he says over 90% of the people that bought the courses never opened them. They never looked at them, right? And then the people that did look at them and, you know, go through them, 95% of those people never did anything with it. They didn't do anything with it, or they didn't finish the course. Okay, so just buying a course from somebody who knows what they're doing is a great step, but what are you going to do with it? What exactly are you going to do with this information? Are you going to utilize this information? Are you going to take it, do something with it? And once again, make sure you buy it from somebody who knows what they're doing. Number six, are we ready for number six? Not making content, videos, blogs, social posts. Guys, you have to create content. You have to. I know somebody who's trying to get some courses off the ground in physical training, okay, and working out and exercising and that type of thing. And I've told them over and over again, you need to do content. People need to know who you are, because if they see some videos you've done and they go, wow, that's some good stuff, and then they see the course, they may buy your course. But if they look for you online and they don't see any content that you've done, you haven't done anything, you haven't taught anybody anything for free, the odds of them buying your course are almost zero, because people tend to do research nowadays, right? I just told you to, right? I just told you, if somebody's got a course, do research on them and see if they're actually doing it every day. This guy is unwilling to do that. And when I pressured him on it and I said, hey, you know, you really need to do content. It's going to be tough to sell your stuff without content. He said, well, I'm going to at some point. I'm just not to that stage yet. I want to get to that stage to where I want to do it every day. And then I watched him, and all he did was play on Facebook. All he did is play on Instagram and text people and stuff like that. I'm like, my God, you could be making a 5-minute video right now. Take 5 minutes, take 10 minutes. Guys, you got to put out content nowadays. You know, when you listen to me on this channel here, of which I've got over 1,300 videos, right? And we hit over 7,000 subscribers the other day, which isn't huge, but I don't care, because I know I'm helping people. I'm putting out content, okay? I don't, well, technically I get paid, but I don't technically get paid to do this content. I'm doing this to help you guys out, okay? And when you see that, and you see that I'm doing this stuff, then you're more likely to look at one of my courses and go, yeah, I think I'll buy his course, because I know he's doing this stuff. I know he's helping people. I know he's making videos every single day. You need to do this, okay? You need to create more than you consume, okay? You need to create more than you consume. You've got to put out content. It's absolutely necessary. And I don't even care if you're selling, you know, I don't know, furniture or desks or bells or cups or whatever you're selling. You still need to put out free content. All the top producers put out content. You've got to do it too. You may say, well, I'm not good at that, or that's not something I want to do. I'm going to tell you, I don't care. I don't care if you're good at it, and I don't care if you don't want to do it. It's necessary. If you want to know the truth to succeed online, you have to put out content, okay? You don't have to do 5 videos a day like a friend of mine does. You don't have to do that, but you got to put out some content, and you got to do it on a consistent basis. So you have to do that. That is number 6, not making content, blogs, videos, social posts. And videos are the best. Videos are absolutely the best. You know, I'm doing a video right now. You're listening to me right now. Videos are the best. Okay, number 7. We're doing okay on time? Yep, 10:20. Number 7, not researching the competition. Okay, look, they have already done all the work for you. Already, they've done it. And here's what I mean. If you can find a successful competitor out there, here's what they've done. They figured out the social posts. They figured out the sales pages. They figured out products. They figured out content. And you can just go and look at what they've done if they're successful and copy some of the things they've done. And I don't mean copy everything they did. I mean, you'll get a real good idea. You'll get a real sense of what's going to work, and you could do the same thing. And I would tell you, buy their products, get on their email list, see what kind of emails they're sending out, see what kind of upsells they have, buy everything you can from them. And some of you will say, well, I don't want to spend money on that. Well, this is invaluable. You're either going to spend money on a successful competitor's products or services, or you're going to spend your time trying to figure it out, and you may never figure it out. Okay, you may not be able to just figure it out. I bought a lot of my competition's products just to see what they were doing. You should do the same thing. If you're not researching the competition, if you're not buying their products, looking at their sales pages, getting on their email list, you're missing the boat. You really have. Okay. Remember, they've done all the research for you. They've already figured out what works. They figured out what ads work. They figured out what marketing works. They figured out what sales pages work. They figured out what emails work. Man, why wouldn't you just look at their stuff and say, hey, I'm going to do something like that? It works. Number eight, not spending money on ads and not learning how to run ads first. Now, some of you say, okay, I'm going to spend money on ads. I heard I could spend $5 a day or $10 a day or $20 a day. And that's a small amount. So I don't mind doing that. And I'm just going to keep testing things out. And I'm not going to get training on how to do ads. Guys, you're either going to get training by running bad ads that don't work, or you're going to buy a course and you're going to skip over that part and just do good ads. It's up to you. Either way, you're going to spend the money. It's a lot quicker to learn how to do it. It's a lot less frustrating to learn how to do it. It's a lot less demoralizing to learn how to do it than to just go out there and do it and hit all the mistakes, because there's a lot of mistakes you can make in advertising. Tons of them. I don't even have time to list all the advertising mistakes. Maybe I'll do a video on advertising mistakes. That's something that maybe I should do. But guys, you're going to spend money on learning how to do ads, either by doing incorrect ads or by buying a course on how to do ads. I have a course in here called Facebook Ads University. Is below in the description. You can grab that. That will show you how to do Facebook ads if you want to do that. All right. So that's my next part, not spending money on ads and not learning how to run ads. Very important stuff. Very, very important stuff. Number 9, not spending enough time working. Not spending enough time working. Guys, this is not a hobby. Okay, this is not where you go, yeah, I think I'll put in 30 minutes a week and see what happens. Now, I get it that some of you don't think you have enough time, okay? But I'm telling you, you've got to put in a lot of time. You've got to work hard. You can't screw off. You know, this guy I was talking to you about that didn't want to do content had just bought into a big program, spent $10,000. He'd gone through the first section, but they won't let you go to the next section until a certain time has passed or until you've done something. So he says, I'm just waiting till I can get to the next section. For the next couple of weeks, I've got nothing to do. Whoo, I've got nothing to do. Are you serious? There's so much you could do. He could have created that content. He could have learned how to do more things. He could have done a million different things, but he's just going to wait. He's going to wait. And what happens with that time? It's wasted. That time is wasted. Guys, starting a business is serious. Starting a business takes time. And when I say it takes time, I don't mean, yeah, it's going to take you 6 to 12 months. I mean, you've got to put in time, not sit around and wait 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. I mean, every moment that you're awake, you got to be thinking about your business. You got to live and breathe that business. You say, well, JR, the reason I wanted to start a business is because I didn't want to have to work so much. Once again, what? That's the worst thing to do. That was number 3, starting a business so you don't have to work as much. You're going to have to work more. Boy, is that unpopular. I say some really unpopular stuff, don't I? Very unpopular for me to say you're going to have to work more if you start a business. It's the frigging truth, okay? Show me somebody who starts a business and they work less than they did on their job and they're super successful, and I'll show you a lie. It's a lie. It doesn't happen that way, guys. If so, wouldn't everybody do it? Wouldn't everybody go from 40 hours a week to 20 hours a week and make more money? I mean, that's a no-brainer. Everybody would do that, right? It can't be done. You're going to have to go from 40 hours a week to 60 or 70 or 80 or 90. That's what you're going to have to do. That's the real truth. That's where I lose people. People go, well, I don't want to hear that. I don't want to hear that I can't make $1 million a year and work 20 hours a week. Well, it's the truth. It's not going to happen. It's never is it going to happen. Okay. The odds of that are zero. Okay. If you're good at math, think about this. The odds are zero. It's not going to happen. You can't work less hours and make more money, right? You say, well, I'm working for myself, so it'll be more intense and better. No, it won't. No, it won't. Matter of fact, since you're working for yourself, you've got to do more things. You don't have the support system you would in working in a job. So bottom line, if you don't spend enough time working, you will not be successful. You have to put in a lot of hours. You've got to cut out parties, movies, dinners out, weekend ball games, bowling, whatever it is that you're blowing your time on right now. You got to cut it out. If you want the prize, now, if you're happy with where you're at, stay in your dead-end job. I mean, no offense, but a job is just a job. And if you're gone, they'll pay somebody else to do that job. But if you want true success where you have financial freedom, and at some point you can just take off and travel the world, you're going to have to put in the hours. I just got back from Las Vegas. I was there Friday, Saturday, Sunday, came back on Monday, and I was at a mastermind. And I had a great time. I really did. I got to see all kinds of things and eat delicious food and stay at the Resorts World, which I've done a video on. I'll share it on this channel. And I went to the Sterling Club, which is a very, very nice club. I had a great time, and I spent time doing what I wanted. But I've also spent almost 13 years working on my business to be able to do stuff like that. Hey, in September, I went to Rome. I was there for 10 days. I toured Rome, and, I saw the Basilica in Vatican City, went down to Pompeii and the Amalfi Coast and saw all these beautiful things. But I spent 13 years getting to that. Now, if you stay in your job and you don't work any extra hours and you don't put, your efforts into your own business, you'll never be able to do those things. Odds are you're never going to be able to, because even if you gather enough money, let's say you find a job where they pay you a ton of money, they're not going to let you have enough time to go do that stuff. When you own your own business, you can do that. Okay. So don't make the mistake of not spending enough time working now. There is no avoidance of work. You're either going to work a lot harder now and have time later on, or you're going to work the same amount now and you're going to have to work more years. I mean, either way, you're still going to work. Okay. You're not getting out of it. Not happening. Number 10, and I've got a bonus after number 10, so don't go anywhere. But number 10 is thinking that you'll have instant success. Thinking that you'll have instant success. It doesn't work that way, guys. It has never worked that way. It never will work that way. When you see somebody who's successful, you don't see all the time, all the effort, all the late night, all the early mornings, all the missing lunches. I didn't take lunches when I had a job. What I did was I'd go get some food and sit in my car and work on my business. Okay. Are you willing to do that? Or do you have to go out to lunch with your friends every day? What are you willing to do? Those people at work, at some point in your life, you won't be around them. They're not going to pay your bills. They're not your success. You've got to understand that success is not going to be instantaneous. It's not going to happen. It never happens that way. Absolutely never happens that way. I had people say, well, you got really lucky because you got this. I didn't get lucky. I worked really hard to get where I'm at. The guy I was talking about the other day that I was talking to, that said he didn't want to do content, didn't want to do blogs, but didn't want to do all these things, didn't want to learn all these things. He looked at me and said, well, you're kind of lucky because you kind of fell into it. I didn't fall into anything. I worked my way into it. I dug and I chiseled away and I hammered at it. Okay. That's how I got into it. That's where my luck came from. It was a ton of work because I wasn't good at stuff. I wasn't good at marketing. I can't even type on a computer. I still can't really. I couldn't send emails. I knew nothing about technology, none of this stuff. I got through it because I worked hard. That's it. That's the big thing. Now I've got a bonus after number 10. Okay. And number 10 was you're not going to have instant success, but I want to talk about this bonus too. Now, any questions you have, we're down to the wire here. We're down to the wire. So you need to put them in the chat box. Any comments, put it in the chat box. I'm going to be here today, and I'm going to get to the bonus in 1 second. I'm going to be here today and Friday. Next week, not so much. Next week is Thanksgiving week, and it's not just Thanksgiving week. It's a special Thanksgiving week. My daughter and her husband and her 3 kids are going to come visit. They're coming from Florida all the way to Texas. Very nice of them to take time out of their lives and show up here. So I won't be with you guys. I'm going to take that time and spend it with family. So that's what I'm going to be doing next week. Don't get disappointed that I'm not live Monday, Wednesday, Friday. However, you'll still get your videos on Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays. Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursdays. You're still going to get those videos. So don't worry about that. You're going to get those. Okay, you ready for the bonus? Are you ready for the bonus? Here's the bonus. And you guys, a lot of you are going to fall into this trap, but this is something that you're not doing that you need to do. And that's not spending more time creating than you do consuming. Now, what do I mean by that? Creating is making a video. It's making a sales page. It's writing a book. It's adding new products. It's all these things that you do to build your business. Consuming is sitting around watching videos, scrolling through Facebook, looking at tweets, checking out the news, looking at your stock feed. That's consuming. It's okay if you do any of those things. I do all those things, but I create more than I consume. Okay. There's this balance thing. And if you're not creating more than you consume, you fall back. You fall back. Okay. So you've got to create more than you consume. Take a look at your day. How much time have you spent making videos, writing blogs, adding new products, working on sales pages? How much time have you spent on that versus how much time you spend consuming on social media or reading the news or checking your stocks? Now, a lot of people really have no idea how much time they waste because throughout the day, they've got one of these smartphone things and they'll just, well, I'm just going to check this real quick, or I'm going to do this real quick, and I'm going to do this real quick. That real quick, that 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 5 minutes, all adds up. And throughout the day, you've wasted 2 hours. 2 hours. 2 hours. What could you have done with your business in 2 hours? You could have done a lot, but you didn't do it. Why? You didn't do it. Well, let me get my mouse here. I'm trying to get to another screen. You didn't do it because you thought it was only a minute or two. It was only a minute or two that you were going to spend checking out your feed or whatever. But if you do that 10 times a day, it starts to add up, guys. You've got to create more than you consume. That is my big bonus for today. And a lot of you don't realize that you're not doing that. You're not creating more than you consume. So very important that you do that. So incredibly important that you do that. The balance, right? The balance. Create more than you consume. Don't consume more than you create. If you do that, you'll fall behind. And you fall behind, you're never going to reach your goals. I hope you enjoyed today's training today. Did I go over? I'm good. 10:32. I'm doing all right. About 2 minutes over. If you have any other questions, comments, you're welcome to put them in the chat box there. If you're not watching this live, which I know like 98% of my audience doesn't, they watch it afterwards, put it in that comment section below. Put questions down there. Put comments. Have you started your business yet? Let me know. Do you have an idea for a business? Let me know. Put it in that comment section there. Are you having a problem with your business, starting your business, growing your business, anything to do with starting, running, and growing online businesses? That's what this channel is about. This channel is yours. It's a source that you can go to anytime you want when you're stuck, and you can say, I need to ask JR a question, because I'm going to come back and I'm going to answer your questions. I try to do it several times a week. I don't have anybody else answer these questions but me. It's what I do. And people will say, well, how do you do all that and do the other stuff? You must have somebody else. I don't. It's me. It's just me. Okay. Now I have other people helping me with my businesses. Yeah. Okay. But as far as dealing with you guys one-on-one, I don't have anybody do that but myself. I appreciate you guys so much because you've helped me build this channel. And yeah, the channel does make me money now. Not a ton of money. It's more a labor of love. Okay. That's saying, because I don't get out the dollars for the time I spend on it. I would get a lot more dollars out if I spend it on some of my other businesses. But I like doing it. I like helping you guys out. And I think I'm at a stage in life where it's my job now to help you out, right? My job is to help you. That's what I should do. Guys, I really appreciate you being here today. You guys have been awesome. I do want to see more comments. I do want to see more questions, okay? I would love a thumbs up. If you could do that, if you could go through all my videos and just give me a thumbs up, that would matter. But if you're extra froggy and you want to jump, subscribe. Hit that subscribe button down there so I'm on your list of subscriptions. So you can scroll through there and click on it and see what videos I've done. But if you don't want to have to go through that effort of looking, after you subscribe, ring the bell. Turn on all bell notifications so you're notified every time I do a video or if I do go live. If you turn on those bell notifications, I can tell you, right? I can say, hey, Look here, I'm starting a new video. Hey, I just uploaded a new video. Turn on those notifications, guys. Very important you do that. Hey, been a great session today. Really appreciate you guys. I got just one more live this week, and that's going to be on Friday. So I will see you guys here on Friday. I appreciate everything you do. Paul, looking forward to seeing next. Oh, cool. Yeah, and I've got one, Paul, I did in Vegas, and I'm editing that now. I think you guys will really enjoy that. That's a really cool video because I take you to a lot of the places I went to in Vegas. I take you on the trip itself. Kind of an interesting little video. All right, guys, appreciate each and every one of you. Love you. Please go out and be kind to other people today. I'll see you real soon. Where's the button? There's the button.